Hi, I'm Kelly Vaughn, and welcome to Inside Indy. When you think about domestic violence, it takes a toll, especially on the victims. But what about the victims' children? And what happens to them? And what's the impact on our children? Well, here to talk about that and more, and a place that serves those children, she is Teia Sherrell. And you are the Children's Services Coordinator for Coburn Place here in Central Indiana. Welcome to the show, Teia.
Thank you, Miss Kelly. I'm happy to be here.
Wow, Coburn Place. It used to be called Coburn Safe Place, wasn't it, at one point?
Well, I'm not certain about that, but it's referred to as Coburn Place Safe Haven.
Okay, maybe that's where I'm getting the safe from. Okay. So tell folks what Coburn Place is.
Coburn Place is a transitional program that serves and provides housing for persons and families fleeing domestic violence or interpersonal violence.
Okay.
We have a transitional facility which houses 35 individuals or families with our units ranging in size from an efficiency, which would house a single adult or a small child with a small child, up to a 3-bedroom, which would do a parent and 4 to 5 children.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But in addition to our transitional facility, we also have a community-based housing program, which provides safe housing and assists families with safe housing in our community.
Okay. So when you say safe housing, what does that mean in a situation where someone is fleeing and what they're fleeing from?
Well, a person or persons or family who is fleeing in a violent situation, their security level may need our transitional facility, which is monitored 24 hours a day. Their staff on site, our mentor program, our mentors are there 24 hours a day.
Wow.
A gated community is what we offer. There's secure exits and cameras throughout our building. A family who may not need that level of security would be housed in our community-based housing program.
Okay.
And receive all the services that a family living in Coburn Place would also.
Okay. So one is more for an immediate kind of a heated situation as a protection. The other is to maybe they're not in immediate danger, but it's still a protective, a covering for them, but also providing services.
It's a support system for them. Yes.
Okay.
And unfortunately, we do not provide emergency services because of such high demand. We have a wait list, and from our wait list, all of our clients on the wait list are served by our advocacy team, and that includes children's services as well, because the families do have children. But they are, as they're moved from our wait list into, as they're serviced by our advocacy team and by our well-being team and our housing team, their emergency needs may lower some. So in that case, they have that choice of whether they want to be in our transitional facility or whether they would be better suited for the community-based housing program.
Okay. So, and when we say domestic violence, we get so used to just saying it. It's just a blanket word or statement. But so oftentimes, what are some of the scenarios where the people are fleeing? And we typically think of mothers with children, which I would think is that typically who you're serving, that they're fleeing those situations?
Coburn Place serves men just as well as women, because there are certain cases where men are also the victims of domestic and interpersonal violence as well.
Okay, that's good to know. That's
Yes,
good to know,
ma'am.
because a lot of people would expect the other. And so when I think of domestic violence and people who are harassing them, Stalking them, beatings? What typically is going on there?
It can be violent. It can be emotional abuse. There can be financial abuse as well, where a person is not in charge of their finances, where they're unable or forced not to work. Those can also be forms of abuse.
Okay. So when a victim comes to you, because oftentimes with domestic violence, they say it takes like 7 times to actually leave that situation. Mm-hmm. So how do you know when somebody's coming to you that they're ready to make a change?
We at Coburn Place feel that a survivor is the first advocate in their own recovery. So it's when they make a decision to come to Coburn Place, they can come to Coburn Place and then leave and go back to their abuser. Whenever they come back to Coburn Place, we're there for them.
The door's always
The
open.
door's always open.
Wow. Okay, wow. So let's talk about the children then, and how you serve them, and what they might be going through when they get there. What's going on with the kids oftentimes?
Oftentimes when a child who has witnessed or suffered domestic violence or interpersonal violence, they're inverted, quiet sometimes, oftentimes very untrusting of adults and others. They may be very anxious and fearful. And it's our job, it's our pleasure to welcome them into a warm environment where they can feel free to express themselves, and bring a form of comfort to them.
Okay. So when a family typically arrives, what happens, and how long does it take for them to get situated and acclimated to the new environment?
Well, when a family first enters Coburn Place, they are provided with a plethora of resources, one of which being the children's program for their children. I am notified pretty quickly when we have a new family coming in. Oftentimes, I'm notified prior to them coming, so our program and our staff will provide the children with sort of welcome home gifts. We prepare the space for them. So, I mean, because a lot of times when they're fleeing, they leave and they have nothing more than the clothes on their backs oftentimes. So when they come, we want them to feel welcome. So we will put special toys, books, educational materials there just to let them know that they're home.
Wow, that's so cool. Now, for all that to happen, though, there's no Coburn Place ferry that takes care of that. So how do you fund all that?
We have the most amazing supporters. Coburn Place has amazing supporters. Our community supporters. We have grants we work through as well. The proceeds from the Lemonade campaign go to fund and support Coburn Place's children's program, and allows us to provide our youth with school supplies and back to school needs, which includes like shoes, clothing, uniforms, backpacks, and school supplies.
Wow, everything the kids
Yes.
need. Okay, so now how does it work? Or there, you mentioned lemonade stands. So how do people get involved? How do they contribute? How do I get my lemonade?
Well, there are two in-person sites, one being at Coburn Place itself. Okay. On our site is 604 East 38th Street.
Okay.
The other will be on Monument Circle on July 16th.
Oh, okay.
Yes. July 16th is the actual in-person sale. That's the big day, the big sale, okay. What we're all waiting for. But again, the campaign begins today, mm-hmm. and you are welcome to go online and to purchase a virtual glass of lemonade at coburnplace.lemonade.org.
Okay. And so you can spend what you want on that, it's not like a quarter like you see at the lemonade stand. We want you to give a quarter of $100 or a quarter of $1,000, right? Or whatever somebody wants to give to contribute.
Whatever's given is much appreciated. The kids at the in-person sales, we usually ask for $1, and $1 will get you a refreshing glass of lemonade prepared by them, and a treat, a wrap treat, individually wrapped treat.
So you'll be situated on Monument Circle?
There will be volunteers doing the Monument Circle. Supporters of Coburn Place will be doing the Monument Circle stand.
Okay.
I and the children will be at the Coburn Place location, 604 East 38th Street.
Okay, very cool, very cool. Okay, well, and this is cool because it's an opportunity to get out, to give, to do something, to give something back to the community. And we've been, locked away for the last year, so it's nice to get out. I know I love like the Strawberry Fest, so why not go downtown and get some lemonade and give to Coburn Place. So, well, we appreciate you coming in. Is there anything you want people to know? Because I would think whether it's donations, volunteers, or, and I know we're talking about money for the lemonade drive, but do you accept toothbrushes and blankets and those kinds of things?
We most absolutely do. And anyone who is willing or wanting to donate such items, we ask that they contact Drew or Aaron at coburnplace.org.
Okay, so we've got that information on the screen. Yes, people can see that, and they can donate or give at the big lemonade deal, which again, July 16th?
July 16th.
From what time to what time will they be on the circle?
It's from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we appreciate you coming in and giving us some information about Coburn Place. I know years ago I had spoken to somebody from there. I had no idea what was going on, more recently, but it just sounds like you are just doing a wonderful job in helping those who are survivors and their families from domestic violence. We appreciate you coming in. Teia Sherrell.
Thank you. Thank you
Sherrell.
for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Here on Inside Indy. And we'll be back because we're going to Indiana Black Expo after this.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Yeah, I get it.
Hi, I'm Kelly Vaughn, and welcome to Inside Indy. And it's warm outside. That means it's time for summer celebration, Indiana Black Expo. It's back again. Now, of course, there was a pause. I say a pause only due to COVID-19, as did everybody else, shut down for a moment. But they're back. And here to tell us about this year's summer celebration, it's Bryan Kelly. And you are Vice President of Community Initiatives and Marketing for Indiana Black Expo. Welcome.
Thank you, Kelly.
To Inside Indy.
Thank you very much for having me here, representing Indiana Black Expo, celebrating our 50th year.
50 years.
Yeah.
And you just joined the IBE family, right?
Yes, I am relatively new as of last Monday, the 21st of June. So yes, I'm very excited. Jumped right into the mix of everything and trying to help the team plan out the rest of the events.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into IBE's summer celebration.
I'm a Terre Haute native.
Okay.
So I was born in Terre Haute. I've been in Indianapolis now since 2001.
Wow. Okay.
So I've spent a great deal of time in Indianapolis, worked at the Indiana Convention Center where I actually helped manage the summer celebration activities at the Convention Center.
Okay. So you know David Owen?
David Owens, Gene Gardner.
Gene
was
Gardner,
my, was my mentor there for a number of years.
Good guy.
And both of my kids were actually born during Summer Celebration and Circle City Classic. So I have a great connection to forever IBE.
Okay,
Absolutely.
lovely.
Yes.
Okay, so 50 years.
50 years.
So it started, what, in 71?
71, yes.
I went to the first one. I'm not going to say how old I was, but I was little. But I remember going to the first
Yeah.
one. In fact, and I don't know if Tanya Bell knows this or not, I have like a little banner that I bought at which it was at the state fairgrounds, I believe is where it started.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
You still have that?
It's at my mother's house, and if my brother hasn't taken it off the wall, it's probably still there.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. So, what does it mean that for 50 years for Expo? What comes to your mind, the history and all of the above?
When we look at 50 years of an organization, that's a long time for any one organization to be around. And for us to be a Black organization in Indianapolis, serving our community across the state, it's powerful. The number of lives we've touched, hundreds of thousands of people coming into town for the summer celebration and the classic every year, those are huge numbers. Very proud to be a part of that. But it's also the local impact we have with students, with our Performing Arts Academy we have now, with our Black Business conferences and series, our education focus. It really is about being a part of the community and help empower people to make better choices, to pursue the careers, pursue the lives that they want to have. We're part of that.
Okay, because a lot of people think it's always just about going downtown for the
Absolutely.
exhibitions,
Yeah.
and which that's pretty cool too, especially when you consider the health fair
Yes.
And the job fair. So how is this year? And I know again it's the 50th year, but in light of COVID, anything different about this year than years past?
Yeah, so we really have tried to identify the areas of summer celebration that we can easily pull together, if you will. We have a free concert, which will happen out at Lucas Oil Raceway.
Okay.
Different location, but we feel that it's a better venue for us to have a great performance, have better parking. As you all know, parking downtown and trying to get to the free concert has never been the easiest. And it's just it's a lot more of a festival type of a feel.
Okay, because I've not seen that area.
Yeah, so it's a brand new opportunity for us to work with a new partner, with the Lucas Oil Raceway team out there. They're very excited about having us, and we're very excited about being a part of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about for that particular event. What's the date on that concert?
That is the 16th of July.
16th.
Yes.
Okay. And what time does that kick off?
That will gates will open to Lucas Oil Raceway at 2 p.m. And we have between 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. we'll have vendors, food vendors.
I was going to ask you about that. What are we going to eat, Brian?
Yeah, so we got
That's
some
the
food,
bottom
we
line.
got some apparel, some goods out there to be sold. So about 2-hour window of time, we'll have kind of the mingle, and then we'll open the entrance to the venue at 4 p.m. And then the concert starts at 6.
Okay.
And we've got a great lineup that evening, including Keith Sweat, Stephanie Mills, Johnny Gill, and El DeBarge.
Wow, El DeBarge, get
Yes,
out of
yes.
here.
I'm looking forward to seeing
love
him. I've
El
never seen El
DeBarge.
DeBarge perform before, so I'm excited about seeing that one. myself.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually had an opportunity to meet his sister. Is it Bunny?
Bunny, yes.
DeBarge. I
Yeah.
actually went to lunch with her once.
Oh, cool.
And she was telling me about how much she wrote a lot of those songs.
Oh, I'm sure she did. the only girl, I believe, in the family, right?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So I love it. I love it. So now you mentioned the vendors out in the park.
Mm-hmm.
So, but obviously not as many vendors as you would have at the convention
Yeah,
center.
if you think about the free concert we've had in the past downtown, the food vendors we've had towards the back of the concert, along those same lines. Food trucks, others selling merchandise, but nothing like we've had in the convention center in the past. But still a little bit of that flavor to try to help boost the economy, give these folks some additional revenue, and be a part of something that's we're relaunching this.
Okay. So a lot of people might say though, but being outdoor, what about if it rains?
If it rains, we'll try to have it as much as possible, as long as it's not severe weather.
Right,
We'll
okay.
push through that. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
a little light rain, we can make it through that.
Yes,
So I
yep.
love it. I love it. So now, how can the community help support IBE and the celebration?
That's a great question. 50 years is a milestone for, like I said before, any organization to be around for 50 years is a great achievement. And so if there's folks who want to help support us, they can help volunteer. They can, reach out to me online. My email address, you'll post that, I'm
Okay.
sure. But they can also donate online too. As
okay.
most organizations, go, we are a nonprofit. We're always looking for donations to help support our mission. And one of the big things that we're really pushing for this year in support of is our Performing Arts Academy for our youth. They study video production, photography, acting, dance, and so we really use that as a means to inspire their education aspirations. The kids that go through this program have an opportunity to get a skill set that helps them really be focused on education, being a model for breaking their cycle of whether it's generational poverty or just trying to move on to what they believe is the future for themselves.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I love it. I love it. So now, obviously, this year it's a different version again, and a lot of people are doing things differently, and still in light of COVID-19, even though we're almost back to normal, and I'm
Almost.
bracing myself with this other strain that's out there.
Yes.
But what about next year? Do you think you'll resume to normal programming, so to speak?
As long as things keep progressing the way they are, then yes, that is our plan, to move back to having our exhibits at the convention center and having all the activities we've always had in full force. We are also hopeful that this fall we'll be able to bring back the Circle City Classic to Indianapolis.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
So, so obviously at this point we don't know who the teams are.
Yeah, that's the tough part right now. We're kind of late in the game trying to get teams to agree to move what may be an already existing game to Indianapolis, but I'm in conversation with a couple of teams right now that are interested, so we're just trying to fine-tune that and make that announcement as soon as we possibly can.
Okay, so the game and the parade?
Game and the parade and maybe a couple other activities that have accompanied that in the past. So
Okay.
more to come.
Okay,
More to
I
come.
love it. I love it. I love it. One thing I always put this out there is that people think when you hear Indiana Black Expo, it's just for black people. What do you say to that?
I think that in this year of 2020 and social unrest and kind of this awakening of differences, that I hope that people can get past that. I think as an organization that is here to serve the community of Indiana, yes, it's part of the black community, but it's also everyone else. And it's really a cultural celebration that we as a community, white, black, Indian, whatever, need to come together to be able to celebrate each other. And so that's what we really want at the end of the day. We want to be able to celebrate who we are and have people come and celebrate with us.
And I've seen over the years an increase in other, people coming, other white people, Hispanic people showing up. And obviously, when you have big corporations that come in, people are working there. So if you've always wondered, like, I kind of like to go, but am I going to be outnumbered? I'm going to feel uncomfortable. Trust me, there are white people there. There's Hispanic people.
Yes.
They're there having fun, and you're not. Okay?
Yeah, and what you just said is, will you be outnumbered? Well, yes, there's a reality that you might be, but unless you come,
Right.
you're not going to be able to experience it. So we really want folks to come out, see what we're doing, learn more about the community, learn about how we're engaging with the community, not just here in Indianapolis, but across the state of Indiana. We have 12 chapters across Indiana that are involved heavily in engaging in their communities, such as Gary, Fort Wayne, Evansville, and others. So this is not just an Indianapolis based effort. It is a statewide community for us.
Okay, and again, lots of good food.
Yes.
And interesting things to buy and do your little shopping, and it's just a lot of it's a lot of fun. And I've always looked at it, Bryan, as a kind of like a family reunion, and I cannot imagine what it would be like without Indiana Black Expo. And I can remember going to school years ago when I went to college and went to school in Seattle, and I kept feeling like, I love this place, but something's missing. And then I'd come home for the summer, and I was like, it's that annual get-together where I see all my friends and other media folks, and and just to walk through and say hello.
I had an interview earlier today with Indy Star, and we had that very same conversation. For me, going to Expo, my college days, it was that experience that I look forward to every year. Right, getting to see friends that I knew from other colleges that were coming back to Indianapolis for that experience. Going to find my favorite fried food in the food court. Being a part of the concerts experience. Those are things that we look forward to, and that's what we have to continue driving for. Is that we want people to have that experience, that they feel comfortable coming to this event and really, look forward to it every year.
Okay. And again, I think I can see people coming out in droves this year because, everybody's reuniting
Right.
post-COVID-19.
Right.
It's like, if you didn't appreciate it, you took it for granted.
Yep.
I bet you better be there this year.
Right.
Bryan Kelly with Indiana Black Expo, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kelly, for having me.
All right, and thank you for joining us. I'm Kelly Vaughn, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you at IBE Summer Celebration next time. Bye-bye.
Last year, Habitat for Missions flipped houses to build a trade school in Uganda for orphans, to expand another school in India for little girls that were at risk of industrial or sexual slavery. Right now, we are in the process of doing a build specifically for a group called Beyond the Storm, a disaster relief organization here in the U.S. We have in the past raised money for missionary doctors, for Bible college professors, for church planters on every continent of the world except Antarctica. And we're ready to do more. We've had inquiries from missionaries in Russia just recently, another one serving in Zambia. And all we're doing is looking for more homes that we can put our tradesmen to work to renovate them, to sell those homes so that we can continue to donate money to Christian mission. So if you're interested in selling a house, please contact us.
Bye, Janet. It's nice seeing you again. You a good girl. Just let me know what I can do to help.
Well, to help me, she'd have to help every day. Every hour, every ouch, every time my wife calls for help. I mean, maybe she could help me make her lunch. But the crust, all the crust has to be cut off the corners. She could help me run to the doctor for the 5th time this week. Help me with the specialist and the second opinions and the painful paperwork about paperwork. Help me deal with how hard it is seeing my wife's name on so much paperwork. But this is on me. I'm the only one who can do this, like this, for her. Besides,
Take care.
we will. Janet doesn't like her cooking anyway.
Find support for your strength. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.